Yo guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I'm gonna give you my look at Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. Alright, from the twisted minds of the guys behind the Twisted Childhood universe comes another entry in this ever-growing franchise that's gonna put out 4 movies this year. Yes, these guys are gonna put out more movies than the main MCU. That's interesting. Okay, so if you don't know what the Twisted Childhood universe is, it's like a horror universe where things that now are within the free reign of the internet that do not have any patents anymore, people can just freely use it, and they're taking all that stuff and they put it in a horror universe and they put a little slasher gore vibe over it. The first entry was the ever successful Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, which I obviously loved with my entire heart, that I just stared blankly into a camera for 5 minutes. And the second one was actually quite good, which was Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey Part 2, which actually had some budget and some thoughts behind the story. Now we have a movie for Peter Pan, and instead of a child that cannot get old on a never-ending Neverland island, we have a pedophile and a junkie. And that was interesting. I have to say, when I first announced they were gonna make Peter Pan into a horror film, I had to say that I was a little bit surprised, but I was genuinely interested in what they were gonna do with a childlike killer on the loose. But then they didn't do that, and they made him an adult pedophile, and I still don't understand why they made that change. Because that's not Peter Pan. Peter Pan is the everlasting child. What they did very right was make Tinkerbell a cocaine sniffing pixie, which was funny. And they tried to get in some lore from, like, they went to Ashtown, which obviously is the town that Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey Part 2 plays in. So they made a little interconnected universe with that. I understood some of the references. Maybe the most fun reference that I genuinely laughed my ass off in the movie theater was one of the kids wearing a white t-shirt with a bloody poster for Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey Part 1 on it. That shit genuinely made me laugh so incredibly hard. It may be my favorite meta joke in a movie franchise ever. I mean, well, if you watched the franchise, the first movie, they recognized it was awful, so they made it an in-universe movie as well, just like Scream did with the Stab movies, just like that, something like that. And they did that, and that genuinely made me laugh out loud. But then the story and the rest of the movie for Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, which is a franchise that I genuinely think will never be good, but can be a lot of fun when handled correctly. Like, Winnie the Pooh on a murderous spree is just funny. And Peter Pan on a murderous spree can be funny. And Pinocchio is getting a movie next together with Bambi. Bambi I am most scared for because that's a fucking beast. Pinocchio is a wooden boy, you can recreate that. And like one of the main characters and one of the main actors from Pinocchio Unstrung is fucking Robert Englund. And if you don't know who Robert Englund is fucking Freddy Krueger. Like, how did they manage to get him? So that's what I'm excited for. But the thing is, with this movie, it could be genuinely fun, but most of the times it just isn't, because it's so incredibly blatantly bad that it made Madame Web cry in some instances. Like, I always laughed with Madame Web where the mouse didn't fully follow the talking and stuff like that. And I have to say that this movie did it worse. In this movie, we have genuine scenes where you see someone talking, but they put the shot on the other guy, so you don't actually see it. But if you look at the person who's talking, his mouth is just standing still, and he's not moving at all, and you still hear the talking like it's actual, genuine talking. That shit threw me off completely. Also, the sound editing and the sound design on the voices as well. I don't know if I should blame the movie theater, but it came from every single box around me, so it was coming from everywhere, and it just sounded distorted for most of the movie. And I don't know if that's the thing with the movie theater, but I was a projectionist for 6 years, so yeah, we usually don't mess with the audio system. That shit is usually done by the movies itself, and we just check if the sound is good. So I kind of have to blame the movie theater for not fixing the sound issues, but it's probably just the editor that did a big giant fuck up with that one. Also, the editing is janky, it's jumpy, it has no cohesive story, it's just a little weird at times, and you feel like the first part of the movie missed some big pieces of information that they just didn't try to film, or they did it but they cut it all out. And the second part is like the better part, I personally think, because it has the most slashery vibes of it, but it just comes out of nowhere considering the rest of the movie, where they don't know what's happening and they don't know how to solve these things. And then in the second half of the movie, well, it's just a slasher gore fest, and you wonder how people are surviving most of these things. And that was just a little bit weird, and it's had a lot of the mistakes that the first Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movie had. My cat is playing because she didn't like the movie either. But I do have to say that this one is by far better than that first movie, better than what Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey Part 1 gave us, because this one actually can be fun sometimes. I genuinely laugh my ass off sometimes, and once I got over the fact that Peter Pan wasn't a kid but a pedophile, it was better. But I do have to say that I seriously think that parents that let their child act in movies like this, they need to be supervised. Because that shit is genuinely creepy. Why would you allow your child actor to play in a movie about a pedophile? And not even a good movie, but a Peter Pan horror movie. Like, if you make a genuine Oscar-worthy movie about pedophiles and about how bad it is, obviously, I'm all here for it. Please, put all the children in there. That sentence is gonna backfire hard, by the way. But not in a Peter Pan horror flick. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you as a parent if you do that? How much money did these kids get? But then I remembered that the kid that played Michael Darling in this movie was also young Winnie the Pooh in Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 1 and 2, and will play his roles again in Pooniverse. So yeah, that makes sense, obviously. Jesus, my God, what the fuck are you doing? Alright, what have you seen this movie? I am genuinely concerned about your opinion on this movie and on this franchise. I mean, let me know in the comments down below. I'm gonna give this movie 1.5 star. No heart. I don't think it deserves a heart. I didn't have a blast with it. I just thought some things were funny, but it was bad most of the times. So 1.5 star is my end score for this project. Let's just say it's a project. Alright, what did you think? Please let me know. I will see you in the next video. Tomorrow, my review for Captain America Brave New World will be online. I want to thank you for watching. Goodbye.